welcome everybody as Scotty was talking to us from somewhere voices are coming to us, but I think it was from Command Central.
Oh, that's right. Command Central
from
tonight.
Command Central.
I think it's not air conditioning. I think the heat's getting to it.
I think.
Here we go. We're going off air.
It's freezing cold in here.
He has the AC in there. We don't have the AC.
No, he's got plenty. That he was the first one to get it.
Yeah.
Believe us.
What a nice night, though, huh? Summer night. This is what summer's for in New England. It's hot.
It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night here in the neighborhood.
It was.
It was.
I know.
Surprise guest.
Kiss a big ugly goon.
Oh, God.
That's what he was saying.
I'm a little ugly goon.
Yeah.
I know. All right, seeing you.
Here we are
Hello,
for
my
another
dear.
episode of
Veteran's Voice.
of Veterans Voice. Wolfie just saunters in, after when he gets a chance, when he gets around to it. He's got his
Busy
dress.
man.
He's got his dress Crocs on tonight,
Oh, that's right.
and
they match.
then the same matching Crocs.
Something's wrong. We have to check them on the
Show's
break.
gonna be full of Crocs.
That's not anything different. And tonight from the Vet Center, we have our good friend Kevin Burrow. Kevin, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you. Always happy to be here.
I think that the way times are now, with the problems that are manifesting themselves, the vet centers are needed more than ever, Kevin. Do you see tell us a little bit about the vet center before we get into it, Kevin. What are you guys all about, and girls?
A little history of the vet
Please,
center.
yeah.
So the vet centers were started in 1979. So we're basically still quite new for the VA. But we were started by Vietnam veterans when they came back from Vietnam and they didn't get the services they should have from the VA. They weren't treated right. Everybody knows the story about that. So 1979 is the first official year. It was well before that, but the first official year when they were brought into the VA fold, and it was kind of under the model of AA, where it was peers helping peers. Anywhere they could do it, church basements, garages, wherever they could find a spot, and veterans could help each other. So that's kind of the model. That model went on for years and years until 1979 when the VA said, hey, we got to pull our heads out of our 4 points of contact here and help these guys and do the right things and make sure that we're taking care of them. So that's when the government came in and started funding them, but the Vietnam veterans were still very smart about it. They said, we still don't trust you. So we want separate record keeping. We want more confidentiality. You don't have to be enrolled in the VA to use the vet centers, although we definitely encourage it.
Sure. Yeah.
And most of them now have turned that corner.
Yeah.
So that's how we came about. And since then, we've turned into more of a professional organization where it's all licensed clinical providers, clinicians, social workers, psychologists, licensed marriage and family therapists.
And what do today's vet centers accomplish? What's your main mission, would you say?
So our main
today?
thing is we're connecting veterans not only with each other, with the community, building the camaraderie between veterans, and then providing the needed mental health counseling to help them move on with their lives, move forward with their lives. Whatever they may need. Our main thing is connection and camaraderie, and we also give referrals out to the community. So if a veteran comes in, we're a one-stop shop. They can come in, they can receive the counseling that they need, and as we're working through that and we find other things they may need, we have all the connections in the community to help them with whatever it is they may need help with, whether it's with the VA, a private organization, state veteran organization, whatever it may be.
In your territory, you're a countrywide organization.
There's over 360 vet centers across the country, to including territories of the U.S. Basically, any place somebody could have joined the military from, we have vet centers in that area. Then we have a whole fleet of mobile vet centers that we use for either disaster relief, respond to big incidents. Example, the Vegas shooting that happened in Vegas at the concert, Hurricane Katrina, the hurricane in Puerto Rico.
And even just donating that bus to us at our festival.
We use it at the music festival. It's also a big billboard for us.
Yeah.
So it lets people know, hey, we're here to support you. There's a big amount of them, a lot of them at all the traveling walls that go around. So we're always there to support the veterans as they go to the walls, because that's an emotional experience for them to go to the walls. So we're there we have clinicians on hand to offer support when they go to the walls.
And tell the audience a little bit about yourself, Kevin.
I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah, all right. We're trying to find you. Good luck.
Peanut flowers, too.
So I'm retired from the Army. I spent about 17 years in the Army, most of my career with the 82nd Airborne Division. 2 tours to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan. The one to Afghanistan, I got wounded, so I was medically retired. That's why I was just under 20 years. Retired from the Army, worked for myself for a while. I was actually a client of the Vet Center, so I received services of the Vet Center, and I became a believer in what they did, because I was that typical infantry airborne ranger that I don't need any help. I'm good. I can get through this. But then I did. I needed some help, and then I kind of made it my mission to go through and go back and give back to veterans. So I got into this job, and then I ended up going back to school, and I'm in my last year of my master's degree right now for my
Congratulations, way to
Nice.
go.
my master's in social work. So.
Jesus, well, for you, I mean, what are we gonna, now he's better looking than us, now he's gonna be smarter than us. I mean, that doesn't take much, but,
He's going to have a shingle to hang
It's a
out.
low bar. That's impressive. Even for you, that's impressive.
It is.
Is there pencils and everything involved?
No, I can't do that. It's all computers now. I can't.
See, we still ask you for some.
we're asking for pencils, sorry,
Number
buddy,
2
you know?
pencils.
And hey, look who we even brought back in the house tonight.
You
She's
know,
been missing.
In from,
I know.
from hobbling around,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, are you feeling a little bit better?
I
Good,
am. I'm better.
good, good.
Start physical therapy tomorrow.
All right.
I'll be okay.
All right, very good.
Crutches are gone.
All right.
I don't like them.
That's, I don't blame you.
But Jenny back in the house.
I don't blame you. But seemingly, Kevin, I mean, now more than ever, the Vet Center services really are so necessary. We've been talking about the suicide rate amongst veterans and amongst active members of the military, and we talk about the horrors of it. But Justin, I don't know if you heard me. I asked Kevin what he thought the relation or the ratio of soldiers taking their life while still in uniform,
Yeah.
as opposed to those that are not in uniform,
Right.
that are veterans.
Yeah.
I wonder what the numbers are. Seemingly, the numbers of members of the military are finite. They're trackable.
I think they're both trackable, and as we discussed, we will definitely find those numbers. I think my gut feeling is I think it's more once they're out of the military, and my only thought process on that is they have a lot longer of a time period. You might only do 3-4 years in the military.
Yeah.
But then as you get out, and that's a big problem with veterans when they get out, is they lose that camaraderie. They lose the connection with the people that they served with, especially if they're served overseas or served during a time of war. That's even bigger connection.
Yeah.
So when they lose that, that's a big loss for veterans when they come back to the community, and they're just thrust back in, and they don't know. They maybe not know people. They may go back to their hometown, but they don't know people. They don't have the backup that they had while they were in the military.
Their whole life have been turned upside down.
Well, and then you also have the combat vets. I mean, who do you trust? I mean, you trusted that guy the next to you for these guys in the foxhole, or you trusted that guy, and now you come home to your hometown, and Billy I went to high school with, but Billy hasn't. He's still hanging around the corner, and I can't talk to Billy. And
they're going to college.
Yeah.
And they've moved on.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've already gotten married. Now they're coming back. Now I'm just starting.
Right.
And not like before when you had a 2 or 3 week cruise from God knows where, serving overseas. By the time you got back to the States, now you jump in an airplane
Yeah.
and you're back home. Now what?
I mean, I went back to school at 25 years old. because when I came home, the kids I went to school with, they were all graduating, and same thing, they were starting families. I was just coming home. I was just starting over, and
Yeah.
there was nobody. And back in 1973, 74, there was no vet center. I mean, it was, we were talking earlier. You got handed your discharge papers, and that was it. You were gone. You were
Gone.
sent home. There was no
Yeah.
discussion. And when you come home, a lot of us just came home. Again, especially the combat guys. I'm a non-combat, but the combat guys came home, and the uniforms we either put away or burnt or whatever, and then they just put their head down and
Moved
try to
on with
figure it out.
life.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and then really move on. And I think that's what the suicide
That's-
10, 15, 20 years later, that build-up over those years, is a tough thing to
Well, and that's
deal
been a big thing that we've seen lately too. Is Vietnam veterans are retirement age, and as a lot of them, a sign of PTSD is they become workaholics. They work and work and work, and then when they retire, now they don't have anything to fill their time.
You've
or their
seen that,
lives.
Kevin? I've never heard that
Yeah.
that story been told before.
That's a common.
Really?
Yeah, the guys that they
Yeah.
workaholics.
I
Yeah.
got retired 15 years, and I'm doing more now than I did when I worked the 40
Yeah,
hours.
and we've recognized this at the vet centers too, and some of the other stuff you were talking about, with people being thrust back into the community, we recognize that. And the vet centers, when we started out, it was Vietnam-only combat veterans.
Right.
Then we expanded our eligibility as they've seen it and seen the need. Obviously, Desert Storm. Then they backdated it to World War II, Korea vets, and when the invasion of Iraq in '03 and Afghanistan after 9/11. So we've added those people in, and then they added in people that are survivors of military sexual trauma, because that PTSD can be just as severe as combat PTSD. And then now they've recognized more things. You got the drone operators that are watching on big screen TVs as things are happening. You got
Yeah.
the people doing mortuary affairs, pulling coffins off of aircraft at Andrews Air Force Base. You got the one of the new ones we just added, again, as you mentioned, going back to school. That's a lot of stress for a veteran. So any Guard or reservist, whether they deployed or not, that's actively enrolled in college, they can be seen at a vet center. So we as we see the need, and they add more eligibilities into people that can be seen at the vet center. So
Well, the need now is for us to take our first break. Larry, why don't we take our... Oh, yes. Time for some... have a Milky Way, and we'll come back after these messages. Take it away, Larry. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Greg Brasso, your host of Veterans Voice Radio here, as we're discussing with our old friend Kevin Burrell. Jen is here. Justin's here. I don't know, Wolfie's off on a public relations tour, touring the building around somewhere, terrorizing somebody, I'm sure. He'll pop up at some reason. But, before we get back to Kevin, we've been doing a lot of shows on mental well-being. And one of the things that we've been saying since the beginning of time is we have a number for you to call if you're in distress. And we've been given the new iteration is now 988. And Justin, you have a story without letting the
Right.
folks know the names of who's involved, but speak to the 988 number, please.
Yeah, we have a Vietnam veteran who has dementia, and he's got Parkinson's on top, and he's been struggling with it, and his family's been struggling, and he's been trying to leave the house in the middle of the night, and recently he got into the living room at night, and his wife came out, who's in her late 70s, and he assaulted her because he wanted to leave. And instead of calling 911, she remembered, because I always talk to her about 988, she dialed 988, pressed 1, and got somebody on the line. And she handed the phone to her husband, and said something like, "This is a veteran who wants to talk to you." And while the counselor had him on the phone, he recognized that he was in distress. And about 5-10 minutes later, the counselor told him, "Wayne, I'm going to be coming by to see you. I want to talk to you." And 2 police officers showed up, no blue lights or anything. I guess they were tipped off that he wasn't being assaultive. Came in with an ambulance, and they got him to the local hospital, and he's now in a locked ward at a nursing home.
She was in potential danger.
She was, but she felt that it wasn't a 911 call. She felt that if he could talk to someone, she was hoping he could talk him down.
Interesting.
And the counselor, I guess, realized that it was a situation that he needed more than just the discussion on the phone. But I was impressed the way even the police handled it. They didn't come, breaking down the door. I guess they were told ahead of time that this is a veteran who's going to be taken to the hospital to be evaluated. And so something that could have turned into very ugly and a bad situation. She said it was amazing how calm he was. He was still talking with the counsel when the police came walking in, like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he just hung up the phone and he went with them. So it was amazing when she told me the story. I was at the nursing home the other day, and she gave me that information, and I was just overwhelmed that it worked out so well.
So folks out there, don't worry. Don't worry about not feeling too well.
Yeah.
It's okay not to feel so spiffy right now. A lot of us, as we're getting older, believe me, I'm 73. I live by myself. Me and my four little fuzzy furry friends that I have running around my house. But it's not easy growing old by yourself.
No, and even when you're around a lot of people, you have to look for the signs.
You can still be alone,
You can be, absolutely.
and I'm alone in a room full of people now.
Right.
I feel when I go to big concert, ooh,
Yeah.
it's like really.
Because you can be alone, you don't have to be lonely, and there's a difference, But if it's affecting your life, like I said, this was something that we tried this 2 years ago. When this first happened, we
Right.
called the 988 number to see what the response was. And I was impressed 2 years ago, and now with this incident,
2 years later.
2 years
2
later,
years later.
I'm really impressed at how it was handled, and like I said, it could have went really bad.
Chalk one up for the
quickly.
veteran's voice. Sometimes, Kevin, you can't necessarily tell the ones that you might save.
Right.
This was a save.
Well, I think it's a good point too that it wasn't technically a suicide call, or he wasn't in
Right.
distress that way, but the person has obviously some kind of cognitive issues and was in not in a great place, and it was still helpful.
Yeah.
So maybe. Obviously, your first bet is 911 if it's an emergency.
Right.
Don't call anything else if it's not an emergency. But in that situation, it was able. The counselor was trained, probably recognized right away that they had maybe not known what it was, but had a cognitive issue, and was able to work that out and then relay it to the police when
Sure,
they came.
just by talking to him, I'm sure they could tell. But I bet he calmed down once he felt he was talking to someone that understood him, maybe.
Right.
Safe.
Not threatening.
Right.
That's one of the things that we talk about all the time. Like, you don't need to be in crisis to call that number, even if you're concerned about someone, that you can call and ask questions. So I love that she did that, but I love that the police came without the sirens and the lights, because we also tell people that if you have to call and it is a mental illness situation, to ask them not to come with the lights and the sirens, because that can trigger
Sure.
even more stress.
Sure.
So I like that they did that.
Especially if they're suffering already.
Right.
That's a great point, Jen, and Justin, that they approached it without the lights
The
blaring
noise.
and the
Yep.
fire department there and the spotlights
Right,
and a helicopter and
Yep.
will make this vet feel even less important than he already feels.
And I think by the counsel talking with the veteran, he, like I said, he recognized it right away that there was something off. He wasn't assaulting anyone or threatening.
Wolfie, did you hear the 988 story?
But he was, in a situation that was
Yeah,
crisis. So
Justin, because of his preaching about 988, one of his friends or associates down in
the area.
was having problems with her husband, suffering from dementia, kind of getting a little bit kind of pushy, kind of edgy a little bit. She called 988. and after 5 minutes of talking, 5 or 10 minutes, there was a police car outside of their front door, waiting to talk to the person that was having some distress. So in about 5 or 10 minutes, they were able to discern that, most of them we talk out of the talking out rate is incredible, Jen. You talk
Right.
about it.
What, 93% or something? you
It was
said?
90, within the first year, it was 98% of the calls that were received were ended in a non-911 call. And I was actually just trying to look up the stats, because I did just get a report, an email the other day on SAMHSA, in the last 2 years, how many calls, I can't find it.
That's
I just
okay.
said it to
1.7
you. But
million
it
or
was like
something, yeah.
1.7 million calls were received at the crisis line, at that
The
988.
988.
What the next step is in this, the policeman that shows up needs to be trained by Jen. The policeman can't just show up.
Well,
He can't
they-
be an untrained guy.
No, it really should be, Wolfie. You're absolutely right.
It's a pitch for Jen right now, because that
Yeah.
guy, if he's a goon like Kevin used to be, we're all in trouble. If he's
Yeah.
a goon like Kevin is now, we're
Yeah,
okay.
but, yeah,
The old days, he showed up there and slugging.
Yeah,
But it also shows the professionalism of all the agencies now. you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
you said, Kevin, it started when you started becoming professional counselors, and
Right.
I think that,
Well, even the professionalism of the first responders that showed up,
Right.
they've obviously had some training along the way, which is, well needed, and that's stuff that we talk about a lot right now is how do we respond, how do first responders respond to an incident like that, but also maintain their safety, because they have to
Right.
be safe too.
right.
And also,
diffuse that situation.
yeah,
without
diffuse
violence.
a situation without escalating it,
Yep.
but also making sure that, as a first responder, they can go home safe at night too.
Correct.
Because that's important.
Yeah.
sure is.
Because a lot of times, unfortunately, the call comes in and they're not briefed, and you don't know what you're walking into. And let's face it, it's 2:00 in the morning. You're walking into someone's home. You don't know the situation, and it's easy to be that Monday morning quarterback. We all know that. So this extra training and information is important.
Jen was in the middle of one that we called in the middle of the night, late at night, there was nobody there, and someone called me and said, we're gonna call the police, and I said, you know what, you're not gonna call the police, it was a small town with nobody trained. I said, we got a better chance if police go, somebody's getting in trouble. So I said, absolutely not, the guy's still talking to me on the phone, you're not sending the police. And that ended up being the right call, because we didn't specifically know that they were trained to do that. So,
It's tough training. It's tough
stuff.
being able to, read it immediately and respond immediately. I mean, you only have 15 to 20 seconds to make a
sometimes not even
first
that.
impression,
Not
you
even
A
know?
that.
couple of
Right.
seconds going through a door. Sometimes you got a second to make that decision whether
Absolutely.
your life is in danger, or I have a relative who's a police officer, and God love her that she's doing the job she does, and it's a whole different world today than it was 30, 40 years ago, and
Yeah.
God love the people in blue and the fire department and everyone else, what we say is heroes run into the danger, and while they're getting up, they're the people out, so. And but we do have a couple of things. We have Purple Heart coming up on the 7th of August, and I'm sure local communities, and hopefully if you're listening, you can contact your local VSO and see what your community's doing for the Purple Heart Day on the 7th of August, and predominantly for the Vietnam veterans and wartime veterans, the Agent Orange is on Saturday, August 10th, and I know I'll be out in Foxborough. They're doing a ceremony, I believe it's 7 p.m., but I know we're laying a wreath at the wall on Saturday in Fall River. I believe that's at 9:30. So there are some events going on throughout the Commonwealth to celebrate and remember those who have been there. So.
Absolutely.
And Kevin?
Absolutely. But at this time, Larry, I think we need to take our second break for the cause here. Why don't we take it away? We'll be back after these messages, and I think we have a veterans coffee to alert for tomorrow, as well as a drive-through that we want to talk about for next week. So take it away, Larry. We'll be back after these messages.
We want to remind everybody out there, go to veteransvoicenetwork.org. You can listen to some previous shows if you missed one, or get up-to-date information at our website. We encourage you to go out there and visit veteransvoice.org. network.org.
Yeah, and you can just go right on, easy listening. Just click on the show you want to listen to. The title of the show is there. The main guests indicated are there. So thanks, Justin. Because of my whatever, we don't talk about that enough.
No, we don't. And Carol did such a great job bringing that website up to date for us and getting us back. Looks like we're almost back to where we at.
Oh boy, and almost like a real
Website.
a real website. You know, Wolfie and I are such webmasters that he's just shaking.
Breaking it like that. What was the operator that plugged in the
The punch
Lily
cards.
Lily
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin's.
One ringy ding.
Yeah, one ringy ding.
One
Yeah.
ringy ding.
Yeah, and Larry's Mr. Ringy Dingy back out there punching all the right buttons. But it's like, and it's like he's driving. He's got a giant screen in front of him. He's got a screen to his right, screen to his left. Boy, oh boy, he's got to be
Bridge of the Enterprise.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Kevin, what'd you have coming up?
So I just wanted to mention a couple things. I was talking to our friend David Henke today, and we were discussing a couple of the upcoming events. And the Brockton VA is putting on a big vet expo. They do it every year. If people are probably familiar with going with it, that's Saturday, September 21st. So that's a big event. There's a lot of veterans go through that every year. A lot of good service providers. VA, you can get your shots, all kinds of stuff. You can do everything. We're going to be there. The vet center will be there set up. So if you haven't checked out our services, you can go there. Now, another really big one coming up on September 4th. It starts at 9 a.m. and it's going until 8 p.m. at night. It's called the New England VA One-on-One Veterans Assistance Expo, and it's at Gillette Stadium. So this is going to be a really, really big event. It's encompassing service organizations from all over New England, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Mass, the State Department of Veterans Services, the Executive Office of Veterans Services, all kinds of private nonprofit service organizations, the VA. Again, we'll be there.
Who should go there, Kevin?
Everybody. It's
That's too broad a brush.
Every veteran.
That's what Jenny.
That's what I always say. People say, who should get trained? I'm like, everybody.
No, too broad. But
It's true. Even with the suicide, I'm assist suicide trained, and
Yeah.
everybody should be assist suicide trained.
I agree. I'm a trainer in
Yeah.
that now.
But
So that's-
it's veterans and veteran caregivers.
You can bring your
Okay.
family can come, everything. It's a big open event. There's going to be classes. They're going to be doing all kind. I'll get you more information on that. That's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah,
but
please do. We got another month to go, but that's
There's some-
that's a good one to know about.
And we'll also have that infamous mobile vet center will be there,
Great.
set up outside of Gillette, but it's in the Putnam Club at Gillette, so it's right in the main thing. Nice air conditioned.
Nice, nice.
It's taken like 2 or 3 levels. They're going to do all kinds of stuff in there. This is coming from VA Central Office out of DC. This is the veteran experience.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's,
Interesting. We'll see how
That's a
they promote it.
Wednesday.
And,
Wednesday.
they're doing a good job. You're going to start hearing it on radio stations, press releases. And they're doing these all over the nation. So they go to different spots of the country and pick times and doing them. So we're the one that's coming up next. So I'm on the IPRs that help plan it. I kind of just sit and listen, but
It's all right.
yeah, we're on those, and there's a lot of good stuff coming. There's going to be a lot of really good
So
stuff.
that's going to be Wednesday, September 4th at Gillette Stadium.
Yep, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. They've got a wide range of time because we know people work and they work.
People need to
hard.
pre-register.
They don't have to pre-register.
Can just show up.
Can just show up.
What's required to get in?
I think you just walk in the door.
Okay.
And there's handicap access as well, elevators, everything.
Bring your veteran ID though when you.
I
would
think you
bring
can
it.
even. I don't even think you need that. I think.
No,
you
but I
bring-
mean, bring it with you in case you want to look for services. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I would say that. Bring. Bring
Handy to
whatever.
have anyway
Yep,
with you.
yep.
But they're gonna file claims for people there. They're gonna.
They're gonna have the ability to look up your DD 214.
They'll look up everything.
If you don't have it, or
They
you
can
move.
enroll you in VA healthcare if you're not enrolled right now. Everything. If you're looking for vet center services, we're going to have vet centers personnel, myself one of them, on the inside, giving a class on the vet centers and what we do, and then we're going to have the mobile vet center outside with a couple of people that do my job from other spots, and we're going to have one of our clinicians there as well. So
Very nice.
Maybe Veterans Voice might be present, huh?
Well, I think that I'm going to attend.
I might know a guy that can get you in. So.
Hey,
Oh boy!
There's that
Oh boy! I think I need to be there just to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think you can gather. You could, even if you just walk around, you can gather a lot of good information.
But even having a
on other
presence
services.
there, you know?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you said there's classes that
They're going to be doing
held there, too?
classes on different stuff. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're going to. It's a well-rounded, lots of different stuff going on there.
Interesting. Well, we'll certainly be there. But the event on September 21st at the Brockton VA Hospital, that's going to be held rain or shine.
Right.
Yeah, and that's always a good time. They cook some good food.
Yeah.
Usually have a band.
Yeah.
And again, it's a lot of the overlapping services, but this is all. That one's more located for
The Brockton area.
users of the Brockton VA
Yeah.
or this general area.
Yeah.
But they'll do. I know they'll do flu shots. They'll do COVID shots. They'll do just about anything you need down there, and you can get any information about any portion of the VA that you need, or outside veteran service organizations, the nonprofits, all the different ones.
It's
that
such a
organize it.
perfect spot
It is.
to hold.
And right there off the highway.
To hold
So
it right
convenient.
there off the highway. Unlimited parking. Free
The
parking.
bus, I think, stops right
Bus,
outside.
yeah, buses are going by there all the
And then
time.
they make a game day decision on whether they move it inside to the gym if it's going to rain,
Right.
or
Yeah.
if it's nice weather, it's outside. So.
And outside is, we had a nice time inside in the rain last year, but a couple of years ago,
yeah, outside.
is really, really nice there.
It's,
You
yeah.
know, plenty of room to spread out. Music is going. There's all kinds of jibber jabber. You got a couple of hundred
Yeah.
tables of benefit providers and of all sorts. So once again, it's kind of, I'm not going to say they copied, but it's kind of like the Veterans Voice Festival that we put on.
The original.
The original
So it's always the original.
in out of Quincy, but we taught Dave well, and he's assembled a lot of the same folks that we have, and it's a testament that we'll come and get you. Wolfie and I are going to put on these events. We'll find you somewhere. you know, we'll trick you into coming in and coming to see if it's going to be, you know, to find out if you've got a early marker for Parkinson's disease, or if you're looking for a career, or if you're looking for whatever. We're going to reach out and try to see what pieces are missing there, and you know, with Kevin's help and those like him, we can find out what you need from us.
And the veterans, the Vet Center bus will be there, I bet you.
Yes. Yep, we'll be there. We're going to be at the big one at Gillette, and I think we'll also have it at the Vet Expo.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sure you will at the Vet Expo.
We usually
sure.
do.
Yeah.
I'll give you another one more. I'm going to give a shameless plug to another organization that I talked to him today. Didn't even tell him we're going to do it, but Volunteers of America. They're
Yes.
opening up a new. They're calling it the Plymouth Area Veterans Center, right down on the waterfront in Plymouth. The ribbon cutting's October 1st,
Yep.
and that's going to be a resource center for veterans. And this is obviously, being in this area right here, is a funnel down to Plymouth down there. So it's the Route 3 corridor. So that's a good. And we're going to, as our vet center's going to. Start maybe sending somebody down there. We're hoping get somebody
Nice.
down there and
Nice.
to get some more services to the Plymouth area, out
Nice.
of Brockton down to Plymouth. So
Yeah, Dennis is the guy that's the,
Yeah.
like Dennis.
Brian, isn't it Brian?
Brian, sorry,
Brian.
Brian was in last week.
Brian Willia.
Yeah. He
Oh, I
Huey-
missed him
we're
last
getting
Oh,
him
yeah,
up
he was
with the
here last
Huey
week.
So we can get the Huey float down there for the opening.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very
That
good.
center's gonna be
I
great.
just saw the
Yeah.
email today about the ribbon cutting
Right,
with the
October.
RSVP. Yeah, so I think Brian owes me a coffee or something for giving him that shameless plug.
Yeah. Well, we have our ways. We have our ways of extracting what we need. But what we need to do at this point in time, Larry, time is flying by here. Why don't we take our last break here, Larry, and we'll come back with just a good night portion of our show, but you know, we need to mention a couple of places where we're going to be, and we think you want to be there as well. So take it away, Larry. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. Greg Brasso here on your on our Veterans Voice on the fourth quarter of tonight's show, and we've been talking about the vet centers and the services that they have, and our good friend Kevin's been in talking about the different services that are that now they're covering and that are being covered. And Kevin, it seems like from an outsider that the VA is kind of getting kind of progressive. They're kind of being a little proactive, it seems.
I think so. You know, I tell people, I don't just spread the word about it. I use the VA myself. I use the VA exclusively for all my health care, and I've been, since I retired in 2009 from the Army, I've been very happy with it. So, you know, I think it speaks a lot that I can say, hey, I use this stuff, I use this product, and I also recommend it. And it's, you know, between the VA, Vet Center, any of the stuff they have, you know, it's just like any health organization. You're going to have some issues here and there, you know.
Sure.
People understand that.
But they've come a long way.
Yeah,
in 40
I'm
years,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I got out, it was a whole different world.
Oh, and you look at
But you see it in the last 15 years, it's really...
and look at Stewart Healthcare. You don't have to look farther than Stewart Healthcare to see the problems inherent in the
Private sector.
in the private sector.
Yeah.
Holy moly,
Yeah.
whatever's going to happen there, and the tricking that's going on, and the
Well, you know, one of those facilities might make a nice VA hospital, though.
Nursing home.
I hate of a nursing home for veterans. I mean, I know it's, you know, where they say sometimes one door opens, one door closes, one door opens, but
Yeah.
you know, it'd be nice to see the VA or the state look at one of those facilities for a nursing home just for veterans, because we've been talking about it all day today. There's just a big need, especially my generation of veterans who...
the problem is in the Dorchester area where the county hospital is. There's no other hospitals
Right.
around there.
Yeah.
You know, you're on the other side of the world, and I had my first, when I broke my neck, my first neck operation was at the county hospital. And they treated me great. It was wonderful. But it was a hometown feel.
Right.
You know, it's not like Mass General or
Like Quincy Hospital or
yeah.
something like that.
yeah, and you really felt comfortable there. So I don't know. I don't know. The healthcare world is unbelievable right now, and I just hope that people are able to access healthcare when they need it. And that's the problem. That's the problem. But Kevin, the VA is always there.
We are, and you know, as we were talking too, one of the major reasons why the VA is so good now is because of the Vietnam veterans. They, you know, put up such a fight to get that better care, and then the next layer of that level came with the Iraq, Afghanistan veterans. So many of those guys came back, and because of the advances in technology, some of these wounds that would have been mortal in wars past, these guys lived.
Yeah.
So a lot of money went into research to help these guys live a better life. So between those two generations of veterans, that's what got the VA up to the high level it is now. You know,
Yeah, and that's a big deal about what you just said, Kevin, about the medical advances and the communications advances and the helicoptering here and there, and there's so many lives that have been saved now that probably would have been lost 20 or 30 years ago.
oh yeah, some people I've seen that were wounded, if they had to be ground medevac, they never would have made it. They only made it because they were able to be air evac'd out. So.
So and they require some special care now.
Right, and they you know, having trauma centers right there in country versus
Yeah.
having to fly them out
To Germany or
to
somewhere,
Germany
yeah.
or other places. You know, the technology to have trauma centers in country and stuff. You know, all that. I mean, it's great that they live, but it also added more burden to the healthcare back here. So they had to catch up. They had to find better ways to service these veterans and make
Sure.
sure they were living quality of life.
Yep. Well,
And Kevin, I always preach here in Massachusetts, we are lucky as veterans. I mean, we have the best hospitals in the world,
Absolutely.
and we have a good community is very supportive of veterans, so.
Well, and we'd be remiss if we don't, at the first of the month, Wolfie and his crew of
Goon Squad.
Goon Squad down at Hull are going to be getting together again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock from 9 to 10:30. 9 o'clock with the national anthem, taps, and a whole list of folks that are going to be scheduled to show up that will be...
The Coast Guard commander has a heck of a show, and he talks about everything that the Coast Guard's doing, which is really interesting because, you think they just, save one sinking fishing boat. But it's a big deal. So come down just to hear the Coast Guard commander give that whole presentation.
Very good. That'll be tomorrow morning, Wolfie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, rain or shine.
Rain or shine, inside probably, at the Hull Life Save Museum.
Way down the end, of Hull, you'll be able to,
Yeah, don't speed because you'll go right in the bay.
oh yeah, don't speed.
We're trying to get Kevin now. He's walking the plank. We're pushing him right in the bay.
And we better get a big damn plank. And then on Thursday, August 8th,
That was good.
Wolfie, we're gonna be joining everybody again for our 100th, it seems like, drive-through out front. So rain or shine, we're gonna be there next week with another of our monthly events.
Yeah, we'll have the 2 trailers of food. It only takes me 3 days to pick up all the food. Other than that, it's easy. But please start lining up around 10 o'clock because we're out by 10:30 or 11 o'clock. We got really efficient. Greg and I figured out from COVID, the cars just drive through, we fill them up. So the people say it's open to 12, they get there at 12, there's no food.
No food, no people, no nothing.
Nothing.
We're all packed up, and it's like it's like a half an hour after our festival. Once we get the ROTC kids there,
That's it.
it's all gone. It's like a big vacuum cleaner from the sky, just sucked up all
It's gone.
the rubbish and trash that we had.
Next Thursday, right? WATD Studios, Marshfield, 130 Enterprise Drive. See you all 10 o'clock. Start lining up before 10, and as soon as everybody's ready, the Goon Squad, 10 o'clock, we open it up. Fill
We
it
got
up.
music playing about
Yeah.
9:30 or
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Everybody's dancing. The volunteers are volunteering. So
It's fun.
it's a great time. It really is, and I say it often, Wolfie. I don't know who has more smiles, if it's the people getting the food or the people that are giving the food away. It's it's a great effort that we put together now. This will be about the 40th month or so that we'll be
Yeah, it really is. And we
putting
need,
this on.
and we need the commercial people to give us the food.
Yeah, but
We really need that to, if people are coming down, they're giving us gift cards that we buy stuff wholesale, so that part's really important. And the most important part for everybody listening is those who don't need the food, they have neighbors who need the food. So please come down, pick up the food for the neighbors who can't get out.
if you see someone that needs it,
Yep.
and we don't ask any questions when you get here. Just if it's for your neighbors next door, just tell us. We're happy to help out, and let's not forget the animals as well. We got the South Shore Pet Food Pantry that's here for the animal friends as well. So we try to help out as much as we can, and I don't know. We have a lot of smiles that leave here every month. So Wolfie, you're going to have a big crowd tomorrow for your.
Yeah, we usually get about 50 people there, and we've got Kevin down there to trick people into signing up before.
Nice.
And so we'll
Well,
have,
there's a lot of people that you could use your help, Kevin, down there.
I've run security down there once or twice.
I think Kevin looks like he can handle it
Yeah.
pretty easily.
everybody's get there before the tide comes in.
Yes, for sure. But we thank you for putting that on, Wolfie. And Jen, you got a big day coming up in the month of September on a Saturday. The Saturday the 21st.
Yes, also on Saturday, the 21st, is the first Out of the Darkness walk with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention that takes place at Bear Cove Park in Hingham.
And what time is that, dear?
Believe it, starting is 9 The walk goes to about 12.
9 to 12, and that still leaves you a couple of hours if you want to race over.
I have another event that day too. I have 4 different events that day. Ride 22 is celebrating their 5th year anniversary that day too.
And what is Ride 22?
We have to get them in here. I
Who is
can't
it?
explain.
Is that 22 Mohawk?
No, it's different. It's another organization. Same thing. Everyone's using the number
Everybody's
22.
on 22.
But
yeah.
it's a group of 5 people that basically they just raise money to support services for veterans. I actually met them when we did the Chowder Fest.
right.
When we were a judge there, I met them there, and then they came to our assist training.
We need more people to raise money for us.
I know.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Maybe
Thank you.
maybe we should warm up a seat for them and invite them to come join us.
Yes.
Kevin, thanks so much for coming in tonight, brother. We love having you on.
Always happy to be here and see everybody here, so it's always a good time. Thank you.
You know, you're just a straight shooter, and you've been there and done that, and I think that your sincerity and love for the veterans community shines through when you're one of the complimentary pieces that we have here, and we talk about the veterans community and that it's pretty well taken care of around here. But the reason being, Kevin, is because there's caring people like yourself that work within the VA, the people that care about it, and Wolfie and Justin, Jenny, myself, we all care.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And we're not here because we're getting paid to be.
And you know what inspires when I see Kevin is that we talked earlier, the networking that he does just with the other vet centers. Sometimes these organizations, they get very territorial and, it's about them and they don't want to give anything up. And when I see people like Kevin and Brian and these people, they're going around and they're sharing it, they're sharing resources. There can never be enough resources for our veterans. So, Kevin, as always, I'm just inspired people like you with it.
Yeah, we're always looking to help each other out. If you're fighting with other veteran organizations, you're not doing the right thing.
Right.
So, Kevin, you're down in Brockton, correct?
I'm in Brockton.
And what's the address?
1 Pearl Street, Suite 2300, right on the corner of Pearl and Pleasant.
If somebody's having some questions, they can just walk in?
They can walk in. We have a front desk office manager, Kimberly, sitting right there all the time. They can walk right in, ask her a question. If I'm available, I'll come out and help you.
And somebody will be there all the time.
Somebody's always there. We have non-standard hours. We're there usually 4 days a week till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Now, this is not just for the Vietnam era veterans.
No, I don't like to put out too many. We do have stricter
Yeah.
qualifications, but I tell if somebody's a veteran, they're in need, walk in. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. That's great, Kevin. Well, thanks you so much. We appreciate what you do, and I know that there's a lot of veterans out there that are feeling better because you've talked to them and shown them that somebody cares. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Kevin. Larry, thanks for a great show tonight, and we'll be back next week with the Veterans Voice, and take care, everybody, and stay cool.